Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It stopped after 21 minutes. I have no clue why. It's like everything's fighting me, isn't it? Ugh. Let's see. There we go. Don't know what happened. That was weird. Okay. Let me see what's going on, really. What's up with the emails? Yep. Just says that I'm live. Okay. Wait, I have to take care of that later. Quit. Alright. Alright. Back to this. I have no clue what happened, but sometimes things just stop working. Alright. Let's work on the outfit this time. Okay. What's that? That's one. I think that looks well. Nose. It's killing me. go. That looks better. Alright, and... yeah. She's almost done. Let's take a break from her. Well, slightly. There we go. The reason why I like redrawing all this is so that it looks better in the end. Looks a lot cleaner. Oh, that one's over. Of course it's going to repeat a little bit. Well, and also the fact that I'm doing each one a different thickness as I go up and down and left and right is because it adds a little bit more to the technique. There we go. Second eye. Now to finish a portion of it, really. I'm gonna have to do it the normal way. I hate when that does that. Alright. So, the only reason why I like to redraw this every single time is just to make sure that everything looks clean for the final product. I did that on the previous one and the previous one and the previous one. But also, any artwork always looks better when it's clean and looks professional, no matter what type of artwork you do. And of course, there's many different types of artwork out there. Mine is stylized in a way that I've cultivated over periods of time, so everyone has their own level of drawing, and the way they want to draw is always dependent upon them. It is not really dependent on how others see it, but it's always dependent upon what they wish to see. And there are many artists that just copy other people just to get money out. I understand that. And it does make a good business in a certain sense. But if you're copying someone else's artwork, you don't improve on your own. And it ends up hurting you in the end. I understand if you want to do something else, but you have to show people that you want to do that something else. You can't just go out and try without failing. That's always how it's been. And I am sorry about earlier, about the stream going down. I do not know how that happened. But let me play the piano real quick. You will see me. Just right there in the corner. One moment. There we go. Automatic. There we go. Now it shall be infinite. that's mostly how I would record something on there, but I'm not really feeling too much in the mood for it. Alright, let's go back to the tablet. There we go. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's go here, and sure. Sorry about that. Okay. Hmm. But I am a gamer as well, if anybody does ask. I play games, I draw, I mine crypto. I do all that I can. Not just to help out me, but sometimes other people. And some people just need to calm down. It always depends on how people will treat you. But if you guys have any questions about what I really like to do and what the future plans on this channel will be, other than art, digital drawing, painting, not so much sculpting. I don't have anything that I can easily record with sculpting, and I don't want to go do it in my garage because it's kind of loud. Yeah, I scratched my throat. That's why I sound a little stuffy. Whenever I scratch my throat, my nose starts bothering me. It's a weird thing. Ah. Yes. Right here. And I do like doing tedious stuff with artwork. From the start to the end. There we go. That's good enough. And then also when you're an artist, you kind of have to say, I'm done. You can't work on something forever. Well, you can, but it'll never be finished. It'll never be up towards your quality. Perfection is not something people should look for. It is the slight imperfection that makes us perfect. It is one of the hardest things to actually do. This one's a little bit more transparent there, but... that looks fine. A little bit. Just here and there. That's why you try to stay as close to the lines as possible. And the lips. Okay. Follows. There we go. That works. And I'll get those in a second. Alright. Let's start with the basics. Eyes, lips, and mouth skin. So let's look for the skin. Looks good. Okay. The skin is covered. Third technicality. Lips. Eyes. Alright. I'm just going layer by layer. Okay, I need to group this together. Alright, so let's see. Okay. Not that. Yeah. Eye tendons. Yeah, unfortunately. I did do that on the original layer. My bad. Okay. Now the other eye. This one looks a little worse. Wait. Let's. Alright, and that's the white behind. Just need to trim that down and then add a little bit. Oops. Kinda need that. Trim it down and also get rid of some. Well, add some back in, really. have the eyes. Let's add them back. Alright. And the eyes are finished. Well, you normally do the eyes again after this, but if it's something small like that, no one's going to really notice. And if you really want to, the best thing would be to do is this. Go back into the eyes, turn off all the layers again. Get the original color. And bring it down. And there we go. Okay. Bring it down, then under the tendons, you do this. Brush and just put this around the edge of the eye. It will make the eyes a little bit fuller. And then what you do after that, erase, erase, and where's that? Not that. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Forgot to erase this. Okay. Below this one, I'm believing. Yep, below that one. Okay, there we go. You don't have to be a perfectionist, but each bit does help. And if you can name your layers, name your layers. So I did not finish the outfit, so that's why you see it as thus, because I wanted to do the shading after. Yeah, and I was pretty much fine with what the hair would turn out to be if it didn't get fully shaded. Yeah. Kinda knew exactly where I was headed on this one. So, because the hair is a lot easier to hide many things. And the many things I'm talking about is if you have to put more color back into it or anything like that. And even though the hair is important, you should not skimp out on anything that you draw. Everything can bite you in the end. Figuratively, not literally. I don't offer really advice on this channel. It's more of a... It is still teaching. To me, I consider everything educational, because you can basically teach anything to anybody, whether it be simple or hard. And of course, this is not going to be a tutorial, nor will it ever be. Nor am I going to show you any gaming or stuff like that. this is mostly an art and tech centric uh, part of the whole thing. If anybody really, really wants to look. That's what I focus on, and it has not led me astray. Plus, it's fun. All of this is fun in the end. And if you're not having fun when drawing, you're doing something wrong. Or someone is forcing you to draw, and even though you're great, there's no soul in it. When you don't see any smiling happen, or any seductive looks, and yes, I do mean seductive looks within your art, because you will end up drawing something seductive whether you want to or not. Sometimes it sometimes just takes a hold of you, but if you get to that point where your art just takes over and you're still having fun, then good for you. But if your art takes over and you're basically mind controlled by it, it doesn't quite seem like the best option. Of course, anything can be taken like a joke, but when you see sarcasm on someone's face when they talk about art, it hurts. If you're an artist, or if you ever wish to become one. And to become one, you can start out from stick figures and all that. I just started at a younger age, but I still started from okay art. And then as I draw and look at the anatomy of people and look at their expressions, their emotions, and every aspect of who they are, yeah, it gets deep. Then you start to get better and better and better until you do hit a wall. And this wall isn't substantial. You will hit a wall on anything that you do. Whether it's art, technology, learning, anything. If you hit a wall, just step back, relax, and take it one step at a time. If you don't have any ideas of what to draw, there are other artist channels that do drawing that's not as extensive as this, where they draw, redraw, and all that. No. They mostly just draw. They do not redraw any of their art, and then but they practice it. They've done the digital art constantly and thoroughly, and their devices don't end up creating waves for them, like this. Yeah. You wonder why all my artwork is slightly not straight? Well, that always depends on the device you have and the latency between your computer and you're saying what? What's latency? Latency is the response time between you interacting with your device, whether it's a pen tablet display, a Wacom tablet, or any different type of device where you interact with the display. You could even draw this with your mouse. I would not suggest that. You will get cramps, and your arms and hands will thank you for not doing that. Never do it with a mouse. It is very difficult, and on every aspect, try to avoid using your mouse directly unless you're just doing something small. I use my mouse to pinch, to zoom, and all that. That's why I don't need a touchscreen for my tablet display or use any of the buttons, because I just use my keyboard. Because everything is where it needs to be. But everyone has their own setup and different way of drawing. So it really depends on you. And just making sure my stream is not stopped. Why is it on auto? No. Never want it to be on auto. Okay. But yeah. I do art, I do crypto, I work with repairing my machines. Let me be right back. I'll show you something on what I'm trying to repair. It is my original Xbox 360. I might do that on a stream just to show that I do know how to solder, resolder, but I'm still waiting for the parts to come in to actually repair it. But if you ever see this happen on any motherboard or anything, you will need to repair it because it can corrode the board. And I'll show you real quick. Alright, let's switch over to the document camera. I do repair my equipment, all my retro stuff as well. If you do want to see me repair it, just leave some comments down below and I will get back to it. And I will do a live stream of me repairing my device. If you actually do want to see that. So. But that always depends on who really wants to see that. Well, kind of everybody, but that's besides the point. I did free. No. That's me going over the lines. Everything else is correct. Okay. Just double checking to make sure I don't have any extra areas where I need to draw more of the red hair. Okay. And yes, I did draw this on Valentine's Day. And all the way to the next morning. So, I do like drawing hair. It's always fun. But I know what to draw when I need to draw it, and how to draw it. I've looked at so many different types of hair, and I've dreamed about it. It's not really something that someone usually dreams about. Alright, let's work on the outfit. So, let's start out with the strips. This one looks almost right. Okay, just need to clean it up a little bit. Alright. Really? I hate when Photoshop does that, but the thing is, the reason why I'm still using Photoshop is I've tried out Affinity and Clip Studio and all that, but the sensitivity of the pin to the actual monitor, I can feel the sensitivity, and it still needs work. It needs a lot of polish, because the thing is, because I'm using an XP Pen tablet, it there's still a lot of issues that happen. Anything with any third party, there will be issues with using it. That's why I'm using Photoshop, because it has the less amount of issues of anything. Because I've tried many different programs. I've tried Rebel, I've tried Affinity Photo, Clip Studio, and some manga artists. Nothing quite hits the sweet spot. Not like Photoshop, where it does help. I still wish Photoshop was not a paid subscription. It does piss me off quite a lot that I have to pay an annual subscription for this. But it's not really something that I understand. It's the way things are going, but why do they have to be that way? Why can't we just have a version of Photoshop that has free updates like normal, for a certain amount of time? You can still have the subscription, but go in the way of Pixel Logic, where they're creating, well, it's 3D modeling, where they actually have the paid platform, but they also have the subscription platform. But they give you the choice. They don't hide it behind walls of stuff. And it's the same thing with the right to repair and all this. Anything that you buy, you should have the right to repair it. And anything that you purchase, you should have it forever if you want it forever, or if you want it only for a short period of time, then go for it. But you should have the choice. And that's actually what people are trying to see in many different things. It's like, do I have that choice? But not everyone is giving that choice, which is quite annoying, but we live in a world that is unfair to all those who wish to tinker. Because there are even stores that are closing down just because no one's buying them. And I understand. They did make bad choices. And it'd be nice if they stayed, but choices. And it's like, if people just combined in the right way, in the right know-how of doing this and that, they could actually expand everything. They could keep people with multiple jobs. Of course, everything would be owned by many and different corporations, but there'd be different corporations, so it wouldn't be technically a monopoly. And that's mostly what we try to strive for, but it's still not gonna get there quite as easily. Yes, that goes this one, I believe. No, that's the green. Okay. And every time I think to myself at night, I do get quite philosophical. I think of the whats, the whens, the hows, the maybes, the what ifs, the what could be's, the impossibilities, the improbabilities, the infinite number of things that could happen, will happen, should happen under circumstantial events. But I'm more of just someone who likes to experiment and do many different things. I'm not the norm, nor shall I ever be the norm. Because if I'm the norm, then humanity, it would head in a different direction. Quite different. Okay, now I need to do this. Brush. Yep. Hardness 0. Brush. And erase. Okay. Yeah, I know. But there are games that I do enjoy that actually I like to see every different type of story. No matter what it is. I just like to see people's opinions on all different types of stories. Because every story has an interesting ending. But it also tells me how much thought someone put into it, how much work someone strived to put into it, but didn't have the time. And I know people are on time constraints on every aspect of everything, so I get that. But sometimes you just want them to finish the story. And you wonder why I talk about stories, philosophy, and everything. Well, when you're drawing art, you want to give every single bit and piece that you draw a character. Everything has emotions behind it. Whether you see them or not, it's up to you. But that is your sort of definition. Yep. Darn nose. But let's see. But if you try to strive for perfection of perfecting every aspect of everything, you'll get nowhere. You'll end in a place where you get nothing done. You get nothing perfected. You get just everything you want ends up not working at all. So it really just depends on what aspect you're trying to portray. That's that good. And there's a reason why I'm not playing the music. Because I just want to talk. And for the most part of every aspect of all this, is if you're drawing something, you will end up wanting to create a story. And of course, I do have a couple of comics in the works, and I will draw that on the stream. Just trying to finish everything. But all my streams will have every aspect of what I do from now on. But I will still post videos when I do have time. And I'm still looking to post the video on the NES cartridges. I do still have instructions on how to do it, but there are some cartridges that still have issues, and with a grain of salt, everything has issues. I've had issues with every device I've ever had. This Mac Mini. Oh yeah, by the way, this Mac Mini has one of the worst sort of errors that I can possibly say, which the USB-C Thunderbolt cable does not work correctly. And what I mean by that is the display works fine. There's nothing wrong with the display. It is how it interacts with the machine. And my display ends up not working when it's plugged in with just USB-C. I can get input, but I cannot get input because the computer does recognize it. And I've seen this. Every time I boot the machine, I see the Apple logo on the screen every single time. Whether it's USB-C or it's plugged into the eGPU. Yes, both of my screens are plugged into the eGPU. And yet, for some odd reason, it just doesn't work properly. I have to plug it in through DisplayPort. Yes, DisplayPort on an AMD graphics card and an eGPU enclosure just to get display output through the monitor. I could use HDMI, but the only problem is I can't get the monitor to 4K, or faux 4K is what I call it, or cinematic 4K. Because it's not true 4K. Because 3820 by whatever it may be, or yeah, 3820 by 2880 or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head, and I really don't care at this moment. It is not something that should have issues. But every time I try to mess with a new monitor or make a new monitor work properly, I have issues. And of course this is a new monitor, it's not, and I just use it to display multiple different things. I use one monitor to draw or watch videos, which sometimes it's easier to watch on a smaller screen. But if I wanted to watch nice 4K content, I want to have the ability and not have to downscale it every single time. And I know if I get a M1 Mac Mini, that would help, yes. But with all the things that I sort of push my computers to, that's not going to help. It never really has. I'm still looking for a computer that goes beyond my expectations. And so far, there's no computer out there, and I mean no computer out there, that I've had any of my expectations fulfilled. They all fall short. I'm looking for a supercomputer you can take home that does at least exabytes or petabytes per second. that does not only do such technology, but has the capability to run multiple different things, devices, and have the ability to have 16 to 20 different displays running on a single machine. Of course, you will need extra graphics cards, but the ability to actually process that information. The reason why I'm thinking about that is anything with simulation, and I do like to play The Sims and all that, but I stopped playing it because The Sims just take too much damn time. And sorry for my words. I try not to use too far of the cuss words or anything like that, but I just don't. Because every computer I've tried it on, I bottlenecked it. Yes, I bottlenecked every single computer that I've had with playing The Sims. You wouldn't think that, but I bottlenecked my computers playing Sims 3. Sims 3. Think on that. But I remember every game I've played, every movie I've watched. Every show, down to its last and gritty detail. But I don't have an eidetic memory, if you're trying to think of it. No, I have just a really good memory. To where I can remember many different things, all the way up to 12, actually even further back, to where when I was 13. So it looks like this stream has been going on for a while. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Or if you're just enjoying me sort of editing everything and hearing me talk, well, power to you. But please type something in the chat. I really do not care who it may be. And if this is not live, of course, the chat will not work. But if you do have any information of what you would wish me to do, whether it's draw, paint, sculpting, if I can get the equipment, or just the simple things. Right. Brush. There we go. And I will not say where I work. That is the one thing I will not say. I will only say I work in a print shop. Nothing more. Nothing less. For it is a print shop of sorts. I think that's too much of a hint, but there we go. But many things in life always change. I'm just someone who likes to stay up late when I can. Kind of go overboard sometimes, though. Because I end up staying up later than I really want to. And I end up being awake till 7 a.m. from the previous day. Yeah. But I do like sleeping. Because whenever I sleep, my dreams are just as interesting as my stories. And what I mean by that is my dreams take me to another world. Take me beyond the veil of this reality. And of course, that's going a little cheesy and far, but hey. What do you expect? Still need to edit that a little bit, but what the? Okay. That's weird. Don't know how that happened. Okay. I did not select that layer. But yeah, my dreams are fantastical in a way. They get so abruptly, well, they get weird. I don't, whenever I dream, I do not dream of me flying. No, I end up just floating up. Yes, just floating up. Like it's nothing. Or walking up into the air. As if it's just some normal occurrence. Because the dream I was dreaming last night was pretty much me. Someone was going to try to bully me, but I kept going up and up and up. It's like, please don't hit me. the guy thinks down below. But yeah, it a little strange there. But it's like, you want to bully me? Well, I'll just fall on you. And I become the character. Whether it's male or female. To me, gender doesn't matter in my dreams. Whether I take one form or the other, it really does not. And everyone has dreams like that, where they become not male, they become female from being male. But not everybody has that openness to that mentality, which I understand. We all want to have our own quirks to the extent that we're not hurting anybody. There, right there, there. Okay. But yeah, I should have started my channel earlier and started streaming earlier. Of course, it would have helped. It would have not helped, but it would have helped. Yeah. Yes, I'm very confusing sometimes. And you're probably wondering why I haven't put back on the music. Well, I only have a certain amount of music, and I don't like things to repeat constantly. You know that feeling. It repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. Yeah. Alright. What does this get rid of? Oh. No. Okay. I need to label those later, but so we got the outfit. She looks so much better. Alright, let's add the ear back and take a look at the ear. So, yes. Right there. At least the ear's not too bad. Of course, with the ear, I can't redo it. Let me do a few things. I brush, paint, intent. Put this on 21%. No, 11. Put this to a hardness of 0. Put this up. And then do this. Go back down a little bit. And add just a little bit behind the ear. There we go. Makes her ear look a little bit bigger, but hey. Alright, so we got that. Now the earring. Yes. I'll have to edit that. Actually, for some things I just leave as they are, because there's no point. Yes. The dilemma there. Brush. No, it's not working. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo it, but what's new? Hardness of 0. But okay. Oops, don't want to erase that. Okay. Oh no, that's on purpose. Actually, it wouldn't really matter that much. It's still red. Yeah, it wouldn't matter that much. I'm just gonna make it transparent there. Yeah. I need that one. Yeah. Okay. Not too far. So I brush. But to me, anybody can be an artist. It's just a matter of dedication you have to doing anything artistic. Oops. Brush. Good. Stream's still going. What I probably did is I stopped the stream by pressing the wrong key. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Got that. Now we look at the ear color. That is everything, okay. Ear itself. Take this off. Edit that. And that looks suspiciously gone. Alright. Let's go in the swatches, go back to here. Brush. Oh, yeah, that's right. Back to this. Flow of this. Actually, 15. Shrink this down a little. Alright. Then it's less noticeable. There we go. And you do see some things aren't in the lines or anything like that. She looks nice. Much better. I will have to edit the hand in a second. Yeah. But I did notice something on the skin itself. Whoops. One thing. I need that on full tilt and on harness of 100%. Thank you. Okay. There we go. And now we have her auburn skin back. Alright. Now let's see. Got that. Now, so here's, now this doesn't fit. But here's how it looked like before. Here's how it looks like after. A lot thinner and lines. And you don't see the dark parts as much anymore. Alright. And we'll delete that layer. We no longer need it. And this becomes the new outline for the rest of the thing. Because now the hand looks out of place. Everything. Just everything. Alright, so let's put these together. Character. And turn her off. We're just working on the hand. Okay. And we turn off the color. Now we're just left with the hand. Yeah. Create a layer. And back to redrawing. Hey, every step of redrawing has its benefits. you familiarize yourself with the actual art piece that you're doing. That's not what I want to do. There we go. So, and with art, you can start something simple or not. Of course, none of my artwork is for beginners, if you're ever starting. But if you're going to draw on the computer, it's best to have a pen tablet display. And let's do an 8x8 at 600 pixels per inch. Sure. 8 inches by 8 inches times 600. But whenever you start any image, you can do a blue line, you can do it as thick as you want. But whenever I start to draw, I just do a sketch of what I wanted to do. So, of course, I draw hair like it's natural. Well, to me, all hair is natural, but sometimes there's not enough space. Because you could basically draw someone with hair that just, it spans. But just try drawing simple lines and stuff like that just to get what type of character you're trying to portray. Because every character that you do draw is different. And I do draw differently on a computer than I do on just a simple piece of paper. And that's too big. Also, make sure that your brush is medium. Never make it too big, because it ends up making everything way too thick. But I've used this tablet on both Windows and Mac, and I have the same problems. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a driver issue on certain things. And drivers can be fixed, but many things on drivers cannot be fixed. Because sometimes it's software based. And you can't really fix software, well, you can't fix firmware very easily. Software and firmware and all that. I know I'm getting very technical with all this, but a digital artist has to understand that you have to worry about everything, not just how do I draw this? No. You have to understand that there will be quirks within everything that you do draw on a digital device. It will have its issues. You just have to compensate for those issues. You have to be a little bit more adaptive if you're ever going to draw digitally. And if you're an artist, sometimes you're persistent, but if you just want to do physical art, power to you. And yes, I say physical art rather than saying acrylic and stuff like that, because physical art is a craft of using many different types of mediums, not just acrylic paint, but oil paint, sculpting, and the like. It really depends on what you really want to do. Draw, paint, sculpt. But if you can do it all, then do it all. There's no one saying you to stop. Be an artist of all trades. but be a master to none of them. Because you can never truly master art, because there are many different ways to draw. There are many different ways to paint, sculpt. Because you could sculpt it out of ice for all we care. And that would end up different. It wouldn't end up the same way. So, really, all the things that you do, you draw, you paint, you sculpt, it always depends on how you want to do it. And of course, there aren't very many artists out there that think in the same mentality that they want to draw it a specific way. They tell you to draw it a specific way. That's not the only way to draw. As I showed you right here, I just sketched it out. But each and every different type of sketch, I'm gonna get rid of that because each and every different type of sketch is different. So you can sketch it out like this, where you just constantly just draw, and then shrink, and then draw, and then shrink, and then draw. If you do that, then that works too. But yeah, there are many different ways to draw and all that. But yeah. Yeah. I love drawing hair. It is fun. If you know how to draw hair, then if you know how to draw it well, it does get pretty fun and creative, because if you're an artist, you can think of many different styles, the possibility upon that. But yeah, so drawing the hand, everyone has different ways of thinking it. So you draw it like this, and then you draw the fingers, and then you draw the fingers, and then fingers and the fingers. But the way to think about a hand is trapezoidal, or squares and rectangles and triangles, circles, ovals. Bring it down to the simplest of shapes. So if you look at a hand, it looks very trapezoidal. And what I mean is, you can display it in a slightly trapezoidal way. Well, a trapezoid, basically. Something that has 5 sides, 6 sides, well, that's hexadecimal, well, hexoidal and octoidal, and just draw it with multiple different sides. Trapezoidal is something where it has 2 short sides here, another 2 short sides, a top, and 1 bottom. It doesn't have to be straight on the hand, but, and then draw a rectangle. You draw a rectangle, a line, a line, a line. And so what you do here is you, depending on your left or right hand, you draw another line. So I'm going to do this off of my left hand. So what I do is this. So that's the top of the finger, and you want it to arc like that. So you go this, you make it skinnier, you draw that, you make it skinnier, Draw the pinky. Make it bulge out a little bit. Then you draw this one, the pointer. So, and then for the thumb is the tricky part. So because you're drawing the left hand, you do this. You cut into the hand, triangle. Now you see the thumb. So you start drawing it here. And there you go. A simple gesture of a hand. But everyone has a different way of seeing it. But I see it in this way most of the time. And then I also do this, which also puts it further because there's points on your fingers where you have to bend your fingers. And then the fingernails, just a curve, and a curve. You can add nails, make them sharp, make them pointy, do whatever. And then what you start to do is you start to refine it. You refine the hand, keep on refining it, and then you add the wrist, and the wrist doesn't have to be too big, it just has to be noticed. You don't want to make the wrists bulge out too much. There we go. But yeah, there's a general hand of a female hand. It's not the best hand, but you get my drift of what you try to do. I'll be back in a moment, but if you do have any questions, please leave them in the chat. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, so alright. I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, bye. Thank you for those who stayed or still watching. Still don't quite understand. I can't see who's... did someone chat? Let me check. Live chat. Yep, no one's there. Okay. Playbacks. Yep. Alright. Alright, let's get back to this. But yeah, there's so many different things of how to draw and all of that. I just look at everything in shapes. That's how I see the world. That's always how I've seen the world. Because when I was younger, I basically saw nothing but shapes, lines of blurriness. Yeah, it wasn't a good time. By any means. I would not recommend having that type of life. Well, to me, everything helps in many different ways, and that did help. So, in the long run, it still helps. I still have to wear glasses and all that. And I have astigmatism, which doesn't help me in the slightest. And I'm slightly colorblind. All things that don't help me. But they help me. It's a weird thing. But yeah, I am colorblind. And I still see around 90% of the color spectrum. Most people are colorblind to begin with, if you actually look at it, even though it may not say it on the test. Colorblindness is just a word of saying is you see the world differently. And everyone wants to be different. My mantra is always to never be normal. Tele lu ferne. In my language of Difran. And yes, I've created a whole language that only I can understand for the current moment. I'm still trying to write the book on it. Because I do want people to try to learn how to read it just for fun. Or just to challenge themselves. Or that's really why I need the supercomputer. Because nothing in this world right now can calculate Difran. And what I mean by that is that the language is so complicated that it even puts emotions into words. Emotions, actions, everything. And yes, I'm not going to speak Difran, and it's Difran, Difenti, Dihotfran, has many different names and many different forms of how to say it. I'm just not going to get into it. And don't ask me of any information on it on any of these streams, because I will most likely wonder what you're trying to say in the first place. Because even the auto-translate function would not even be able to understand what it would be saying. If people are trying to listen to this in other different languages. And I'm not doing this for just my benefit. I'm also doing this for everyone else's benefit. In case anybody has questions or opinions or whatever. I'll even answer information about cryptocurrency if you have it. Because I've been interested in it since 2013. And just a coworker mentioned it to me one day. I looked it up. I looked how to do it, and I went on. But yeah, it does take a little bit of effort. It was a lot harder to mine cryptocurrency back then than it is now. But every advancement towards that is good in its own way. And I know people still think it's a scam or something like that. It's not a scam. If it was a scam, you would not get any money out of it. You would get no payout. You'd get zip, zilch, nada. And yet people still say it's a scam. It's a scam if you try to pay someone. Yes, and I mean pay someone to basically just have everything. Yeah, that just won't sound. Everything done through someone else. I understand it. I know what people want to do and how they wish to do it. But it's the willingness of trying. Are you willing to push yourself? To endure the hardships that come with learning? If you're not, then don't try it. Where's this layer? There we go. Whoops. Wrong thing. Alright, and let's erase that. And this. Glad I left that in. It helped a lot. And I have to do less shading. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, everything backfires when you have to redraw and make it look nice. It'll backfire, always. Okay. So we eye that, brush that back into existence, and erase, and erase, and erase. But yeah, I get extra philosophical towards everything at night. Always have, always will, and will never stop. Yeah, but with all seriousness, is at night I actually focus a lot better. But I also focus a lot better when I'm half asleep too. So I've learned how to stay half awake and half asleep every day for the last 20 or so years. No, not 20. I've just been getting a little bit more sleepy all the time. The dreams are trying to keep me asleep. Like always. Don't your dreams try to keep you asleep? They don't want you to wake up. They never do. No, but each and everything that I have is part of a bigger plan. Okay, the nails. And with each part of the plan that gets finished, I go forward. Brush, eyedropper, and brush again. But yeah, the cryptocurrency does go up, does go down. I've seen it go from 19 grand to $2,000. That was the second time you should have bought Bitcoin. You can still buy Bitcoin, but it's not as fun. That's why I mine it. Because it's more fun. Why would you buy something that you can easily mine? Well, not so much anymore, because the machine that I had could mine, at that time, it could mine a lot more, but now I need tens of thousands of machines just for me to break even on just one Bitcoin. Yeah. It's crazy. The market. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, it goes leftways. It goes every way. But yeah, you have to be careful on what you do, what you buy. This is not financial advice. Never has it been or will ever be. But yeah, you just have to be careful on what you do, what you buy into. I can see it. The imperfections. Okay. That looked a little bit cleaner there. Trying to make a cleaner one, not one that looks less clean. There we go. There's a little bit of that. There we go. Have to do a lot of editing on this. But yeah, I enjoy many different types of games. I am a Pokemon fanatic as well. But I get into the games, yes. I love the games dearly. But I do wish that the open world was a little bit more open in a lot of these different titles of games. I like how they made Kirby now an open world game as well. The way they did it, it makes it look a lot nicer. Still a platforming game. It never... When something goes away from its roots, you know you've done something wrong. And you never want to far too stray from the roots of the actual type of game. Because everything has its own canny valley, if we're going by that. But yeah, everything has a canny valley. effect. And it is up to each and every one of us to find that. Alright, I'll get back to that in a minute. That's fine for now, I'll get that in a second. What I'm trying to look for is that. Alright. Let's erase this. But if you guys have any comments on what you would like to see, what you would like to hear, whether it be good, bad, the ugly, there are still other things that I do not wish to express, discuss, but I will discuss anything as long as there's no lewd or sexual innuendo in it. And of course, YouTube's always watching. To an extent, yeah. Okay, that. Then we have this. Okay. The world is different in many different ways because crypto basically went on its head and basically, well, people are just backing out of crypto. And I understand. It's like a stock fails. You don't get your returns. Wow. Sorry. But that happens with anything. But crypto is something of a cycle. It goes up, it goes down, and then goes back right up again. But the thing is, you have to stop trying to predict every last thing and buy when everything's a good deal, when it's low. Never buy high. And what is crypto right now? Let's see, crypto for Bitcoin, more so. That's what everyone associates Bitcoin with. So it is around 37, almost 38K. Yeah. It's not gonna completely drop. If it completely drops, well, goodbye. Yeah, you'd never want any sort of crypto to just completely drop. It's like any other stock. Yep. Back to $3 on Doge. Okay. Well, Doge, Litecoin, all that, they're all fun. But if you want to make crypto, if you want to make Bitcoin, don't mine Bitcoin. Mine everything else. And then convert it over to Bitcoin automatically through all the pools and exchanges. Always use the alternative. Never use the mainstream when it gets too high in price. Or too high in difficulty to just simply mine. And of course, Bitcoin, they say it's gone away from its roots, but everyone doesn't quite understand that Bitcoin was going to get here eventually to that point. So I really don't see what their logic is there. Okay. Gonna do a few things. And the first thing I will do is add depth. So opacity 30, variable hardness 0, and make the brush as big as can be. Well, not as big as can be, but big enough. Alright. I will tone it down, but first thing I need to do is cut through it to where this is not part of it, nor this. But yeah, cryptocurrency is something that can be complicated, but you can also make it very simple. Think of the internet when you think of cryptocurrency. That is the easiest thing to think about. Multiple users, multiple different things on that. And all of that. It's going to be a ride that you enjoy. Because you can start with something simple, like on BlockFi. Even though they are having issues at the moment, there are still those stable coins. And with those stable coins, you can gain a lot of interest. Of course, right now the government's trying to be a little bit money. Well, they like to be persistent, is the nice word to say, but they're just greedy. They want every aspect of your money, whether it's taxes or anything like that. And when they don't have money, they raise the taxes. And of course, that is not the right way to go about it. There is a right way. It's just they don't go that way. Which is unfortunate. They could make it quite nice if they just went the correct way about things. Whoops. A little bit too much there. Not too much. But yeah, cryptocurrency is quite difficult to understand, but if you think of it as the internet and multiple users trying to see content on this one platform, device, that is basically Bitcoin in a nutshell. It is just multiple different miners trying to mine this single individual coin. Of course, not everybody will understand it that way, but that is what most cryptocurrency is. Okay. There we go. Yep. I know, it's not big enough. There we go. Okay. But yeah, cryptocurrency, all that, it can be summed up pretty easily. People just don't see it that way. And when they don't see it that way, they think it's way too complicated. It really isn't. If you explain it in a certain way, it can be explained very well. But if you use all these technical terms and stuff like that, it's not going to end up well. What she's probably saying is, give me that money. No, she's blowing you a kiss. But yeah, everything has its benefits, its failures. And to me, everything is volatile. It is the way people think things are. And if they don't think anything is volatile, you're living in a fantasy world where everything is not volatile. Which, hey, if you're living there, can you bring me to? No, but seriously, all things are volatile in this world, and the way people think that they are volatile. Whether people see it, whether people don't, that's really the question to argue there. And I need to lower the brush. Photoshop. Why do you hate me so? Yeah, no, but yeah, there's many different things that you could go by, that you could see, that you could even determine that it wasn't worth it. But you have to try it out. If it doesn't work, you can try something else. But yeah, investing in stable coins and all that, it is good, but in other ways it's just a different type of digital money. We're already dealing with it, it's just a little bit more secure, and of course people are going to probably say in the comments, it's like, how is it so secure if people know it? Well, it's because people have eyes on it, but the reason why it's secure is the fact that as long as you don't give away your keys, you have secure password protection on all your computers, devices, or you own your wallet and it's on your computer. That's more of the best scenario to go towards, but yeah. There we go, the hand. Just need to do a few minor obstructions to the, well, not obstructions, but shading to the hand. So let's see. I'm just gonna get rid of this shading layer. I kind of like that shading now. Well, I'll get back to it in a bit. Alright. Or put that as backup. So let's take a look at this again. Use the brush. But yeah, there's many different things on cryptocurrency, art, all that different stuff. But the fact is, cryptocurrency is not trying to do just one thing, it's trying to do multiple different things. That's why it's hard to categorize it and place it in one category. Because it can do all this different stuff. Okay, it's not what I wanted. The brush is probably too big for me to see. Or it changed to a crosshair. Oh, lovely. Ugh. Really? I hate when it does that, but... okay, brush. Eraser. Okay, I hid my brush. That's great. Okay, so when it's on... okay, weird. Don't know why it has that function. Oops. Still in the eraser, aren't I? Okay. And now we use the brush again. But yeah, cryptocurrency is not something that is simple. It is something that will get more complicated as it ages. And I can simplify it as easily as I possibly can, but it is complicated if you get closer to the truth of what cryptocurrency is, to be generalized and purposized and all that stuff. Okay, let's turn on the opacity, change the size even higher, there we go. Go to a darker tone for the shading. Actually, right here. No. Opacity of 21. It has to be subtle. Okay. And the eraser. But yeah. But if you want to, whatever you want to do, it is the best thing that you can do. Draw, paint, sculpt, crypto. But yeah. And what I'm trying to do on this channel is to draw and also paint, hopefully sculpt eventually on this channel. Do a little bit of pottery, because I've done some in the past. It's just been a long time since I have. And I would like to do it again. Okay, there we go. Subtle, but still there. Good. And then, the last thing but not least, the fingernails. Alright, so let's see. Is that the top layer? No. It's no longer top layer. Keep going. But yeah, I like doing many different things. Keeps me occupied. Keeps me from being bored, basically. But everyone has their own tastes, their own aspects of what they want to do. Power to you. If you want to show me some of your artwork, if you are artists, or if you just like watching the stream, then so power to you. It'd be nice if people would get paid for many different other things. But let's see. So we have the hand. And now the hand is done. So we say sayonara to the hand and go back to the character. So far, that's how it looks. Looks pretty good. Of course, I did not put the white trim on the hand, but it doesn't need it. Alright, let's get back to the character and finish her off. So the background is going to be different too. And what I'm going to do from the background is most likely draw hearts. A bunch of hearts. Well, one heart and then everything else will fall into place. You'll see. Alright, so we're working on the outfit. So the first thing is first. We have to put shading on this whole underside. So right here, we need some shading. And it's always good to match the color if you can. So you just go a darker tone, put it back on brush, make sure the brush is on soft and still has an opacity of a small opacity, because you don't want this to be too big of an opacity. And just constantly do what you can. But if there's any objects or stuff like that, but yeah, outlines and stuff on that scale too. But the best thing to make it look very natural is you have to make the brush ultimately larger than what you think it needs to be. And okay, that's a little too big. Too big. Okay, come on. Okay. So this is still too small. Larger. Too large. Okay, that should be good enough. But yeah, you want it to not go too much over, but large enough to where it goes over. So The reason why I'm doing it larger than it really needs to be is the fact that it needs to be this large for the size to actually work properly. And then with the eraser, what you want to do is the same thing. Hardness of 0, opacity, and put it on a higher level, but also make sure that it doesn't look as noticeable. So the parts that you want to get rid of, you can get rid of. And it stays where you want it to be. So, that is the true objective of all of that. And with that, you can make many different types of effects. But yeah. But with each step, you kind of have to understand that it goes in many different ways. It can be learning, it can be not learning. Whatever it is. Alright. I'm glad whoever joins my stream, it does help me get closer to many of my different goals. But let me put some of the songs back on and have you enjoy them. Well, little ditties in a way. Okay. Well, I know people are going to look at the stream and say, "What?" It's fine. Okay. She is finished. Yay. Okay. There we go. just curious as how many people are really looking. Chat rates, playbacks. I'm always curious. Ah! What happened? There we go. Better. Better. Alright, let's add some color. Let's add some purple. Well, it's more pink than hot pink than purple to me. Usually everybody's asleep by now, and I understand. wrong one. Hold on. Alright. Yep, no, this is bothering me. Alright. Hearts. Times 4. Basically copy paste. Yep. Almost there. Okay. Yep, that's right. This one. Shift this one into place. Yep, everything gets trippy after a while. But this is the easy way. If you really want to try, this is the easiest way to do it. Okay. Copy. And paste. And transform. Yeah, I'm using Control T for all this. And then we combine all the rows together. Group, heart, background, and voila, you have hearts in the background. There we go. This looks very complicated, yet it's very simple. If you just draw one heart, copy it, copy it, copy it, copy it, then you can make something very easily. Alright, now try to find the background color. We'll make it more of a voluptuous red. And what I'm going to do is basically just fill the background. G and fill. That, add the character. Whoops. Hearts. You go there. Below the drafts. Huh. And of course, if you want to do much more to the hearts and all that, what you could do is burn in. You can make it lines again. Widen. Everything has a different effect to it, so normal. Normal is this. But if you want to add extra effects to things, just double click, it'll bring up this, and what you can do is that you can do inner glow, inner shadow. It basically adds shadow to everything. Bevel and emboss, drop shadow, which that's what I'm looking for. Opacity a little bit less, and then distance you can add more, but spread is more of what you're trying to look for. Spread like this. Distance, well, you still want the opacity to be just slight bit. Nothing too much, but something that can. These are the easy techniques to sort of make everything pop in an image. And voila. If you take away the effects, it's subtle, but it adds to it. And then also, if you do the full character, that as well, you could add a shadow to her. So if you double tap on her and add a drop shadow as well, she ends up adding a shadow to the background as well. Of course you could do that, but some things even show in your shadow, so you have to be very careful of what you want to show. But yeah. And so forth and so on. But yeah. With, without, with, without. But yeah. You would want to make sure that all your effects and every part of your character is showing correctly. And what I mean by that is for the character, the color, the outfit. So this and this. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. Alright, so right here it's having the issue. Erase. Oops, too much there. Okay. There. Of course you can't erase every aspect of everything, so don't try. You'll fail. So. And there's shadows in the hair as well. That's the layer. There we go. And if we do the drop shadow again, there should be less of the effects of that. So if we add it more, this also can help you see what you need to take away from it. Or just say okay for now. So I do want to get rid of some of that drop shadow. Especially that. Okay, a little bit of everything. Got it. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there's gonna be some things that you can't really get rid of that easily. There we go. Okay. But yeah, the outfit. Hold on. That's funny. Alright. Okay. Nope, not there. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. When you have so many layers, it gets quite tedious after a while, but it's well worth it. Yeah, that's where all of the troubles lie. Okay. Alright. Hey, this helps with not having to create a shadow in Photoshop. Double click. And we want the angle to be straight on. We want that to be -90. Yeah. And then multiply distance. Alright. Now we can put the distance further away, spread a little bit larger, size basically to cover it, and opacity to make it fade into oblivion. Just subtleness. That's all you really need. Drop shadow, size, spread, opacity, and yeah. Add some noise. Sure, why not? But yeah, just adding that subtleness helps. With, without, with, without, with, without. If you want it to pop off the page, it'll work well. There you go. She is finished. Alright. Barbacia is finished. Okay. And I'm gonna... Oh, right, one more thing. Before I forget. We need to sign this. And... Okay. Brush. Most complicated area. Image, adjustments, brightness, contrast levels, hue. There we go. Change the hue to more of a pink. Okay. And darken, multiply, linear color burn, lighten. Difference, and make it fade until it is barely visible. then anybody who's not looking will not see it. There you go. Now the artwork is signed. But yeah. But yeah, you should always sign your artwork, because then no one can copyright your stuff, whether it's an NFT or not. And we'll save this as... There we go. Final. Yeah. Alright. And Orbasia layers groups that may change appearance if open in applications older than CS6. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I'm not opening it in something that's older than CS6 anyway. Sorry about that. But there we go. It is finished. See? Shadows, stuff, simple stuff. Alright. I still have 2 more hours. Yay. Cancel. Can I salvage this somehow? Yep, I can. Alright. I could continue on that. Draw the rest of her. No. Finish her up. I'm not feeling it today. I will try to finish her though. So, let's clean her up a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so drafts.